Your own experiences paint not only how you interact with the world, but how you're able to abstract a story into beats and character interactions. And this can dramatically affect your writing and creative projects. Your perspective determines your storyline and character's fates. And oh my goodness, do I love some quotes. I know they're cheesy, but sometimes the right words at the right time can cause your understanding of life to shift in a way that provides understanding, closure, and some amazing catharsis. And they're not exactly the kind of quotes that you'd find on a kitchen sign or a tattoo on someone's forearm. They're a little weird, but I'm pretty confident about some of these, especially the last couple, so give me a chance. People will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Bumps from obstacles and pleasures taken from the wins along the course, and the underlying themes that you might identify with, like a character's relationship to their family of origin, or experiences with triumphing over great stress that you could relate to, they might forget your main character's name, or the overall gist of your story 5 years later. But if your project has just one hard-hitting scene that made your viewer reverberate with a strong feeling, cathartic or uncanny, you'll have made a connection and your work will be remembered. Realize deeply that the present moment is all you ever have, and wherever you are, be there totally. If you find your here and now intolerable and it makes you unhappy, you have 3 options. Remove yourself from the situation, change it, or accept it totally. I learned this and internalized it way later than I'd care to admit. I'd forget that I could just leave situations, and when that option is off the table to remove yourself from a situation, you're left with change or accept it. In your typical hero's journey, the call to action is usually rejected at first before the protagonist is forced into plot shenanigans. You know how it is. Your characters can and will also struggle with not being present in a moment, getting hung up in the feeling of being unhappy, or stuck without accepting leave the situation as a viable option. So think about it. Where has that feeling pushed you before? What feelings have bubbled in your gut? If you can articulate those feelings, you can flesh out a very relatable scene that viewers and readers can empathize with. Being able to endure something does not equal an obligation to withstand it. Do you have a martyr complex? Does your protagonist? Oh shoot, I didn't put where this one is from actually. Here we go. From a Reddit comment. Wouldn't you know? So many things can be worked on with communication, but sometimes there's no getting through to someone to treat you with a baseline of respect to your boundaries and limitations. But the strings, the social stigma that comes with cutting off your family of origin, it's very complicated. Just as some things are worth fighting for, some things are worth freeing yourself from. And this doesn't have to be limited to external conflict. What internal conflict is your character enduring that they feel the obligation to withstand? How is guilt and shame tangled within that? If you don't give appropriate attention to what has your attention, it'll start to take more of your attention than it deserves. If you find yourself saying that you haven't had time to write or work on your creative projects, it's time to step back and see where your remaining free time goes. I'm an advocate for getting enough sleep, so I don't recommend cutting it from that time, but if your screen time on any social app is getting concerning, maybe put a productivity blocker on for a couple hours in a day. But hey, I think this quote also offers a pretty good surge of inspiration behind a character's snowballing descent into whatever is gripping them in your story. Imagine, what is it that slowly crept in and took over your character's life? Is it a new passion, a game, something competitive, or a void filler that only makes things worse in the long run? There's a lot of angles to look at this from. And the next one has to do with every writer's favorite, anguish and miseries. Also, quick shout out to the patron constellation and viewers like you. Making cool stuff is my dream, so thank you for helping me pay my rent and buy groceries. But when it comes to writing characters going through the spirit-breaking, life-changing, irreversible whoa-ohs, this is one of my favorite quotes and changed how I write forever. Eventually, something you love is going to be taken away. And then you will fall to the floor crying. And then however much later it's finally happening to you, you're falling to the floor crying, thinking, I am falling to the floor crying. But there's an element of ridiculous to it. You knew it would happen, and even worse, when you're on the floor crying, you look at the place where the wall meets the floor, and you realize you didn't paint it very well. It's a little long for a tattoo, right? From breakups to loved ones passing away, the severe anguish felt at full force, even if it took a while to hit and dissociated numbness got there first. When you're in one of those moments where you feel such pain and misery that all you can do is fall to the floor and sob, and then you get pulled out from it for just a moment to realize you're feeling so much that you're doing this. And you might even doubt yourself, thinking that you're acting, putting on a show for yourself. Or who knows, maybe it passed already and your brain has already moved on to the next note of commentary. The wall looks a bit shit. Where they immediately go after anguish is the time when a reader or a viewer is the most gripped. Then you can hit them with just a bit of tonal whiplash when the drama hits its peak and they realize that they still have a task that they need to complete and life has to move on. Now, I don't want to leave on that note, so here's a bonus quote on the flip side. Happiness is not always dramatic. In fact, it's rather understated. It comes in moments and in memorable experiences. It can come through the people that you love and the things that you love to do. Recognizing happiness is important though. It should settle into you like a peaceful sense of harmony. But when you don't acknowledge it, it doesn't have a profound impact. Pay attention to those special moments. There are many every single day when you learn to see and appreciate them. Can you believe this is from a horoscope app? Yeah, I bet you can. My favorite moments from my favorite media tend to have a theme. Romanticizing small tasks or moments of nothing that we normally don't pick up on. You know, part of the whole appeal of cottagecore. It's the moments in Ghibli movies when characters are taking a deep breath in a beautiful scene or eating food that I'd kill to try just a bite of. Give your characters these moments alone, but also with one another. Those moments where they both laugh and sigh in contentment, settling into that peaceful harmony. And while you're at it, seek out those moments to relish in yourself. It's easier to write from reality, right? But quotes that click for you personally are something special. They can help point you in the direction of the story that you could tell best, themes that you have the most personal experience with. And if you want more fun character writing tips and project guides, check them out. And take care!